Davi and Goli, a screwball comedy for voices, written and performed by Frank Gordon. Music composed and performed by Frank Gordon. The first scene is an Arab market in ancient Judea.
Gather round, ladies and gents. I bring you this truly amazing bargain. One that definitely will not, I may say, cannot be repeated.
Look on the other side of Goliath's statue. I can see him through the hole in the middle. Wait a minute. I'm sure I've seen him somewhere before. Where? I know. It was in court. A few weeks ago he was brought up before the beak he was. What happened? I don't remember exactly, but I think he got off. There's a small crowd forming. Let's wander over and see what he's selling.
So, ladies and gents, if you buy just one of these remarkable documents, I will give away. Yes, that's what I said, lady. Give away one of these jars containing what appears to the casual glance to be just ordinary mud. And why, therefore, I hear you ask, do I handle it with such loving care?
Yes, why do you handle it with such loving care?
I'm glad you asked me that, sir. It is because this jar contains some of the original mud, scraped from the bottom of Noah's Ark when the great flood subsided. And for those of you who would like to travel along the straight and narrow path of righteousness, but feel you need some guidance, I have for you the new 10 Commandments, Numbers 11 to 20. Now, note, these are not written separately on great heavy stone tablets. No, my friends. They are all on one slate for maximum portability and convenience. Plus, for the more forgetful amongst you, the first 10 are added at no extra charge. I'll read you a sample. Will somebody give me a number?
Number 15.
Number 15, here we are. Thou shalt not cross thy bridges before thou comest to them. And another, you, sir.
Number 7.
Oh, so you've forgotten number 7, have you? Does your wife know about this? Try again.
Number 11.
11. Thou shalt not leave the tavern before closing time. Now, who will be the first one to buy one of these slates and get a jar of religiously relevant mud absolutely free? I am not asking 3 shekels. I am not
My God, he's vanished. And there's a column of white, shiny stuff standing where he stood. That's a great advertising stunt. I wonder who he does it. Ask him when he gets back.
Be friendly, be friendly, be friendly, be friendly, be friendly to your neighbourhood giant, even though he's 10 foot high. Be friendly to your neighbourhood giant, I know that he's a very nice guy. He'll help you clean your upstairs windows, tell you just which way that wind blows, improve your
In the hills of Judea.
relations with people of unrestricted growth. He will help you with your big loads.
I say, David, where are you? All I can see is sheep and the occasional cow. Here, I'm over here sitting by the tree. Oh, yes, there you are. I couldn't see you for sheep. Hello, Jonathan. But shouldn't you be at the temple with the big ceremony on today? They gave me the rest of the morning off. The rabbi said I couldn't take part in important public services until I lose some of what he called my upper-class accent. Said it gave the place too much of an elitist atmosphere. You could always have a few lessons with a Philistine voice coach. Now, Philistine, I suppose I could. But for now, I'll just relax and soak up the sun. Incidentally, what do you do exactly in this temple of yours? Oh, we read from the Bible a great deal and pray to some chappie in the sky called God. I don't know a great deal about it, really. So I see. In that case, why did you agree to do the job in the first place? You should have become a black coat again. I would have done, but after that business with the 8 to 80s holiday camp, all the holiday camps were closed down. There was just no more work for black coats. The bottom fell out of the market. Yes, but that doesn't explain why you should choose religious employment. The jobs they had were all to do with religion in one way or another at the job centre. A bit dyslexic, are we? It's actually pronounced Job. It's called the Job Centre. Job. Yes, that would explain it. Talking about the Philistines reminds me, when is the next match? It's supposed to be in 3 weeks' time. But there is some talk of it being cancelled after the debacle last time. If we would have had our regular goalkeeper, there might have been a different result. Legend has it that he was a first-class keeper when he was a lot younger, but I really think Methuselah is a bit past it now. Most of the time, he was just leaning up against the upright, mumbling, "It ain't necessarily so." Typical. I heard that somebody was very, very upset about us losing that game. Well, the folks at the temple think that it must be the guy who sponsors the team. And they seem to see a connection between the results and the failure of this year's harvest. Oh, and the thunderbolt that went through the temple roof. That's a rather childish attitude. Would you like a sandwich? No, thanks, I am rather peckish. Sorry about it being broken, but a sheep sat on the packet and fragmented it somewhat. That's the problem with unleavened bread. It tastes very nice. Yes, they're camel paste and cucumber. You were lucky to find me, you know. I could have been anywhere in the hills. Oh, I called at your home and your mother told me where you were. Don't you get bored up here all day, just you and the dogs and the sheep? I do at times. When that happens, I sing or write some poetry. Would you sing something for me? No, I couldn't. I'm much too shy. Not even if I were to hold your hand. No, I don't like to sing in public. I only sing to the sheep and the dogs. The dogs seem to quite like my singing. They join in sometimes and bark along with me. However, I will recite you a poem that I wrote recently, if you wish. It's about sleep. Did you say it was about sheep? No, I said it was about sleep. But funnily enough, it is also about sheep. Listen. When I go to bed at night, I close my eyes so very tight and try and count the sheep that leap the farmyard fences of the night. But they ignore my sorry plight and baa with all their might, so that I hear the whole night long their woolly song. I tried a pink pill, it made me quite ill, and still throughout the night I had the blues. I tried some warm milk, but found that warm milk just changed their sheepish bars to cowish moos. Then I had a great idea. Very good, but is there such a word as cowish? To be quite honest, I'm not certain that there is. Still, I see no reason why there shouldn't be. It would mean almost the same as sheepish, but slightly more intelligent. Yes, well, by the way, what happened to the crook? If you are referring to my uncle, he was only charged with forging Commandments 11 to 20, not convicted. Don't be silly, I was talking about your shepherd's crook. Oh, sorry for snapping at you. Family name and all that. It's quite all right, I understand, but where is it? Look, up there on the branch. But aren't you supposed to use it, being a shepherd? Well, I might do if I could work out what to use it for. Don't you round up sheep with it or something? I tried that, but it wasn't terribly successful. As soon as I caught a sheep's leg, in that curly bit at the end, the blasted sheep leapt into the air and got away. The dogs didn't seem to be amused by what I was doing either. So now I just practice throwing the crook up over the branches when I get bored with singing to the sheep. Funny, it looks like a big question mark in the sky. Perhaps it is a sign that my life is at a crossroads and about to change in some way. Very profound. Anyway, I'd better be off now. I've got a bit of candlestick polishing to do before tonight's service. Thanks for the sandwich. See you soon. Yes, bye. Well, I suppose I'd better get my crook down from that tree. Oh, nearly I got it. Go away, you silly animals. I'm not a squirrel. Go and round up some sheep. Shoo. Ram, I guess that you do look rather like a squirrel. Oh, you've come back, have you, Jonathan? Why are you putting on that funny accent? Do you mind? I bain't be putting on a funny accent, and I bain't be Jonathan either. Oh, do stop playing the fool. Where are you? Over here. No, you're not. I don't see anyone. Yes, I be. No, you be. I mean, I can't see you. You're looking at the wrong sheep. The wrong sheep? Oh my God. Ah! Right first time. Lucky you fell on that nice soft moss. Could have had a nasty bruise. Oh, I did get a nasty bruise. That's a pity. And the crook, he's still up there. Speaking of which, reminds me, that uncle of yours, he were guilty, he were, though he got off. I turned him into a pillar of salt for a week or so. Tell your auntie to make sure he doesn't get rained on, will you? Then you really are? Ah, I really am, and I appreciate your obeisance very much, but you can get up now, off your knees. Oh, only with difficulty. It's how I landed when I fell out of the tree. There. Oh, I'm sorry, but I still can't work out exactly which sheep you are. All sheep look alike. Indeed they don't, me beauty. Not to other sheep. Get you gone, you ram, you. This be no good. I'm better turn you to stone for a while. Huh. Now I can think straight. I think I saw you for a moment, then you disappeared again amongst the other sheep. Very well, look, I'll just trot over here, away from all the others. Pesky beast. They all come over here now. I better change them all to stone. Oh, there you are. Now, can you tell the difference? Yes, of course. They're all made of stone. They look strange. Still, they are a big improvement on garden gnomes. I hope that you won't forget to change them back again. The shearing could prove a problem. Don't you go bothering your head about it, young David. And now you've got used to a talking sheep, I tell you I'm here. I doubt if I'll ever get used to a talking sheep. Stop rabbiting now and listen. Have you heard of one Goliath, the so-called champion of the Philistines? Well, I need a champion of my own to defeat him. And I decided on you, me lucky. Isn't he some sort of giant? Oh, our giant. You're going to beat him. Beat him? Beat a giant? What at, and why me? You might deal, me dear. Young, handsome, and rather thin. Precisely. How am I going to beat Goliath at anything? Don't you start arguing, me dear. Remember your uncle. Yes, well, I wasn't exactly arguing. That's just as well. Don't be fooled by my cuddly exterior. I didn't mean to. You can fight him at. I'm not certain yet. Maybe us'll try boxing for starters. Yes, you can use that old barn over there as your gym. I'll let you have the required shekels. Start training tomorrow. If I come up with any better ideas, I'll tell you. But, no buts, me dear. You don't want to be sprinkled on somebody's dinner now, do you? No. I was only wondering about the training schedule. Ah, right. Let's see now. You can train from Sunday to Friday, 0600 hours to 21 hours. What was that? Ah, you wouldn't know about the 24-hour clock yet. I better rephrase that. Sunday to Friday, dawn to dusk. Isn't that a bit draconian? Us wouldn't want people to think us isn't trying, would us? No, I suppose not. That's settled then, good. Just one other thing. We'll need a nice statue of you if you're going to be famous. Me? Famous? What on earth for? For beating the living daylights out of Goliath, of course. Ah, you thought Godzilla was mighty. You thought, sorry, sheep, lord. How should I address you? You can refer to me as the boss. Sorry, boss, but you've lost me completely now. Don't you go worrying your pretty little head, none, young David. Just you do as the boss says, and everything will turn out nice and sheep-shape. Ha 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 ha. Now, off you trot and get that statue organised. Oh, by the way, congratulations on being the very first Children of Israel Boxing Association champion. Boss, sheep. There's no one there. I must have fallen asleep and dreamt all that. Maybe it was the effect of that camel paste and cucumber sandwich. Still, I better start heading home now. It's beginning to get a bit dark. Huh, wait till I tell Jonathan about my dream. Ow! What was that? A stone sheep. Yes, now, I wonder, where can I find a sculptor this time of day? You Davy Ben the boxer? The boxer? Yes, I suppose I must be. I got this publicity handout for you from the training camp of Goliath was the father of Goliath, known to his friends and his enemies as Goliath. That was quick. Yeah, I ran all the way. Why? Express delivery in half heavy, nearly a whole page of writing. Put it down on that stone sheet for a while. That's almost bleeding lifelike. Oh, it's much better than old Mondlecrit has done. Mondlecrit? Who is Mondlecrit? He's a famous modern sculptor. Is he a Philistine? Right. Good. That should mean he works on Saturdays. I expect so. Do you happen to know where he lives? Let's think. Yeah, just over the border on the main road. First house on the left. It's got a stone door. Thanks, sir. I'd better pay him a visit. Oh, Goliath would like his stand back. Certainly. Here you are. This must be the place. Oh, a nameplate. Mondlecrit, sculptor extraordinary. Better knock, I suppose. Ow! That door is pretty solid. I'll try a small rock on it. Come in, door's unlocked. Hello, are you Mondlecrit? Aye, that's me, lad. What can I do for you? I'd like to commission a statue of myself
You may name your own price, within reason. You come to the right place, lad. What dost think of new front door, by the way? Yes, it's, nice. Oh, budding geologist, are you? No? Oh, I see. You didn't mean GNEISS, the rocket we're made from. Ah, so you want a statue? Yes, me as a boxer. You'll be second one I've done recently. I can begin tomorrow if you like. Very well. Do you know that large barn about 2 leagues up the road, just inside Judea? I reckon I can find it. I'll see you there tomorrow morning then. You can't miss it. It's just past a flock of stone sheep.
Be friendly to your neighbourhood giant, even though he's 10 foot high. Be friendly to your neighbourhood giant. I know that he's a very nice guy. He'll help you clean your upstairs windows, tell you just which way that wind blows.
Goliath's training camp. Bugger, bugger, bugger.
Come on now, Dolly. You're not going to let yourself be beaten by a punch bag, are you?
Well, he's had more experience than me. Bugger, bugger, bugger.
Look, Golly, I don't know what you've got to be worried about. You're the WPBA champion, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. The World Professional Boxing Association champion.
No, I keep telling you, Golly, you're the West Philistine Boxing Association champion. But maybe one day, Golly, maybe one day.
Why can't you call me by my proper name, Goliath? Golly sounds like some sort of soft toy.
Okay, Goliath. So what's eating you anyway?
It's these Philistine clothes for a start. They are so bloody itchy. Shouldn't you get rid of the insects before you turn a cow into a coat? I also can't see the point of leaving the udders on. As for these so-called all-purpose yellow plastic trainers, I told the cobbler I didn't think they ought to come up to my knees, but he said the ring might flood.
Well, you never know, it might. At least with me, the great Ugg, as your trainer, you haven't lost a single fight yet, have you?
Very true, but that's only because I haven't had a single fight yet. Your publicity frightens everyone away before they get anywhere near the boxing ring. And as for that name of yours, who ever heard of anyone called Ugg?
And what's wrong with Ugg?
It's not a good Philistine name like Goliath was the father of Goliath. Dagon was the father of Dagon, or Gishpar was the father of Gishpar.
If you must know, when I was about to be christened, paganed, the imam took one look at me and said Ugg, and the name stuck.
Yeah, so I'm worried.
So what you worried about?
What are we going to do about this challenger?
Who, the C of IBA champion?
What's C of I stand for?
Pagan idols, don't you know anything? It stands for the children of...
Wait a minute, I got it. It stands for the children of Ireland.
Well, not exactly.
Anyhow, his name is David.
David? David what?
Just David.
Can't just be David, that's only a first name.
Well, it's really David Ben somebody. You know, the Israelites only have first names, followed by Ben, which means son of. I mean, like the full names of, say, Saul, Abraham, Ezekiel, Moses would be Saul ben somebody, Abraham ben somebody, Ezekiel ben somebody, and Moses ben somebody.
That somebody character had a lot of sons, didn't he? Were they all boxers?
No, they weren't all boxers, Dumbo. And somebody is... Oh, never mind. I was just explaining that they only have first names, why we only have last names. Because Philistine fathers always have the same names as their sons. So what does it matter?
Wait a bit. My full name is Goliath, was the father of Goliath, okay, but I've never heard you called Ugg was the father of Ugg.
Yeah, well, strictly speaking, between you and me mum was never sure exactly who was me father, and to include all the possible candidates would have made me name a bit on the long side, so she left it at Ugg. Anyhow, there's no need to get worried. I've sent this David I've sent this David all the publicity.
That's what bothers me. He thinks I'm a 10-foot, 18-stone, muscle-bound psychopath, and he still wants to fight me.
You can't be afraid of him, he's only a little fella.
But I'm only a little fella.
Look, I'll frighten him off, don't worry.
Well, I don't know. Who's his trainer?
I'm not sure exactly, but he says he has God in his corner.
God? That doesn't sound like a first name or a last name. I wonder where he comes from. Well, wherever he comes from, he's not going to have a corner to sit in. Have you seen the ring?
No, I don't like opera very much. Oh, that ring. No, I haven't seen it. Why?
It's circular and full of sawdust.
Ah, I thought that ringmaker from the circus was a bit on the cheap side.
Look, I know you're always trying to save money if you can. Okay, but where am I going to sit between rounds?
With a bit of luck, I can still persuade this David character to throw in the towel before the fight, like I did with all the others. If, on the other hand, the fight does go ahead, I can't see it lasting more than one round. Either way, your problem doesn't arise.
The Bar, David's training camp.
So, what's in this publicity handout? I have no idea. I couldn't read a word of it. Why not? Was it written in Philistine? No, it was written in Hebrew, but in some sort of code. Let me have a look. Where is it? You're sitting on it. Oh, that explains why this chair felt so hard. Can you make it out? No, but why should they send you publicity in code? I have no idea. I might pay them a visit sometime and find out. But aren't you afraid of this Goliath person? Strange as it seems, I'm not. I know I should be, but I'm not. Can we carry on with those different positions now? Try the muscle man pose again. Like this. Well, to be perfectly honest, it isn't very convincing. Let's see. Oh, what's his name? Just about to sacrifice his son before the reprieve comes through. Right, there. Yes, but the effect is rather spoilt by those boxing gloves. Why don't you take them off? I can't get them off. Anyway, this is no time for holding hands, Jonathan. The sculptor's coming to do a likeness of me soon. Who is it? It's a Philistine called Mondelcript. Yes, I have heard of him, but why use a Philistine sculptor? It's the boss, actually. He said, what was good enough for him is good enough for me. So I have to work out for 6 days and rest on the 7th. The only day I can have a likeness done is a Saturday. But as the Israeli sculptors also have to rest on Saturdays, I had to get a Philistine. I can tell you this, it won't be much of a likeness if your statue resembles any of his other work that I've seen. What do you mean? Well, his Moses is a cube with a hole in it, and his Jacob is a cylinder with a hole in it. But, my dear boy, that is what is called modern art. Well, maybe it is modern art, though for the life of me, I can't see why one should have to pose for it. By the way, have you had any more instructions about this fight of yours? Fight? Don't make me laugh. The boss knows I couldn't even punch a hole in a thick mist. But anyway, what he told me was that I wouldn't have to fight. I should just wrap up a stone in an old hanky and whirl it round my head a couple of times and let go. Really? I can't see what that has to do with boxing. Neither can I. But the boss is not really the sort of chappie you can argue with. He also put me on a near starvation diet. Says it will be much more impressive when I win. Not if you win, but when. That is correct. The joke is I don't even possess a hanky. You do now. I don't understand. It is rather peculiar, but I had this strange urge yesterday to go out and buy you a present. I got it in my bag somewhere. Completely slipped my mind. Look, here it is. A pretty pink colour with roses embroidered round the edge. That's awfully good of you. Thanks, Jonathan. It's very nice. Yes, I did the embroidery myself. I say, you aren't going to use it for... I'm afraid I'll have to. I haven't got anything else. All right, it is yours, but do look after it. I spent ages on those roses. I will. You needn't get upset. I'm not getting upset, David. But you still haven't told me what's supposed to happen when you wave a stone wrapped in my present round your head. Well, I asked the boss. He said just to do it and he would take care of everything. It sounds a trifle vague if you ask me. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to argue. What's he like, this boss of yours? Not a Philistine, I hope. Oh, God. Anything the matter? No, why? You just said, oh, God. No, what I said was, oh, God. I don't think he's a Philistine. So, what's he like? Isn't he the one who created the earth, the moon, the stars, the sun, the beasts of the field? Yes, that's right. As to what he's like, the only time I actually saw him, he was a sheep. I was told at the temple that God never sleeps. Oh, not asleep. A sheep. He will look a little strange in your corner. That shouldn't be a problem. He's mostly invisible. Yes, an invisible sheep won't be too bad. I doubt if he's always a sheep. I've been thinking, it must be great to feel God's behind... What? What was that? What did you say? I was saying that it must be great to feel that God's behind you when you're going to the ring. Yes. What on earth is going on? And what's that sticking through the door? It looks like a chisel. Oh, it's probably Mondulcrit. Right, but I hope he won't be thrusting any more of those lethal weapons through the door just yet. Hello, I'm Mondulcrit. Sorry about the door. I always use my chisel as a knocker. I didn't realise that the little yellow protective bit on the end had fallen off. I could make you a nice new door if you want, out of granite. Thanks for the offer, but no, I think we'll just repair the old one. I'm Jonathan, by the way. I believe you have met David already. Hello, David. I won't shake your hands if you don't mind. They're all covered in clay. Now I'd better take a good look at you. Yes, well, you're not exactly Mr. Known Ancient Universe, are you? Still, we'll see what can be done. How do you go about it exactly? My own personal way of working involves firstly making a life-size model of you out of clay. Lifelike? Yes, but that's only the initial stage. I would then squash the clay, which now has your, how can I put it, now has your essence in it, into a round ball and mould it into a suitable geometrical shape. I did have the thought of you perhaps as a regular icosahedron. A regular what? You'd have 20 faces. I'd have 20 faces. Then I do the whole thing in stone and knock a hole through it. Certainly I used to do that, but not anymore. I no longer like holes. I've left holes behind me. Why is that? I fell into one on the way here to see you today. And if it weren't for the fact that someone came along with a bucket on the end of a rope and hauled me out, I'd still be down there. So, what is your next style going to be? I would rather not say at present. The idea is a bit tenuous. Still, I'll wait till it's a bit more concrete. Concrete? Perhaps we should make a start. Get into a strong pose, David. Make the old muscles ripple. Yes, I see your problem. Imagine you are defending Israel from an invasion by hordes of barbarians. Like this? Oh, no, not like that. Can't you think of something slightly more aggressive? I know, David. Imagine that there's a workman about to trample all over your herbaceous border. Oh, better. Hold it like that. And a slight squeeze on the fingers of the left hand. There, that's the clay model done. Now I'll just roll it into... Before you do that, might I take a look at it? Oh yes, of course, but it's only a model, remember? This is very good. Look, Jonathan. It is good. It looks exactly like him. Why not make a copy of this? Realism? No. Much too old-fashioned. Give it here, right, and here, and there, and done. Anyway, where can I wash my hands? There's a basin over in the corner. A basin, yes. That feels a bit better. Realism? No. Let me work on my idea. I've nearly sorted it out. I can guarantee it will be different. Right, I'd better be off now. I'll pick up my chisel on the way out. Got it. See you then. If you happen to find my little yellow thing lying around, let me know, would you?
Goliath's training camp.
Now, this is hard work. I must have a rest. That was better than last time, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
You mean the punch bag didn't win this time?
No, the punch bag didn't win. It was a draw.
Still, that is an improvement, isn't it?
Right, it's an improvement.
Here, didn't you say that David character was coming over to visit today?
Yeah, he's supposed to be here at noon. That's the reason I'm attempting to sharpen you up a bit.
What time is it now?
Don't know. Go and look at the sundial.
Okay, I will.
Well, what's the time?
I still don't know.
Why don't you know?
When I went to look at the sundial, my shadow blocked out its shadow.
Did I ever tell you? Oh, that'll be him now.
Oh no, I'm not ready yet.
Relax. Don't panic. Everything's under control. I won't let him in till you say.
Where's that damn dressing gown? Oh, here it is.
Are you ready now?
Yeah, let him in.
Come in. Hello, I'm David. You must be Goliath. No, I'm not Goliath. He's 10 foot tall. Didn't you read the publicity handout? I'm afraid I couldn't. I did try, but I gave up. It seemed to be written in a complete gibberish. I hope you don't think me rude. You must have spent some considerable time carving it out. That's the reason I wanted to come over today, to find out what it said. Sorry about it being in two pieces, but I dropped it on the way here. Difficult to get a grip on things with these damned gloves on. Yeah, it would be. Let me look at it again. I left the bits outside. Just a minute. Let's put them together. There we are. As I said, Hebrew characters. Yes. So, introducing the mighty Goliath. You thought Godzilla was mighty. You thought... I see your problem. Problem? Yes, problem. You're reading it from left to right and up and down. That is Philistine. Hebrew is from right to left and side to side. Anyway, now I'm here, you don't have to tell me about him. I can actually meet him. By the way, who is that person standing on the ladder wearing that rather long dressing gown with the yellow wellies sticking out below? Heavens above, can't you get anything right? I told you to make sure the cord was done up properly. Well, you've blown it now. You might as well come down. Sorry, Gov. So, you're Goliath. Delighted to make your acquaintance. Damn difficult to shake hands properly with both of us wearing boxing gloves. Right. I hope you don't think I'm being rude, but according to the rumours I'd heard, I was expecting to meet a giant of a man, sort of, a kind of walking mountain who could uproot trees with one hand. You must be thinking of another Goliath. As far as I know, there isn't another Goliath. You're unique. No, I'm not. I haven't even got a high voice. My dear chap, you misunderstood. What? I really wouldn't bother. Don't you two talk behind my back. I may not be very clever, but I've got big ears. I do beg your pardon. No offence intended. I just meant that you don't seem to be any more of a boxer than I am. That's right. I'm not a boxer. He persuaded me to do it. You surely can't mean God is in your corner as well. I'm talking about Ugg, my trainer. Ah, I thought you meant he with a capital H. Yeah, Ugg, you got me in all this mess. Told me I'd be rich and famous, have my own chauffeur-driven camel, live in a pleasant semi-detached tent, even told me there'd be a great statue of me in the square. You must be patient, golly, it'll come. You have at least got a statue of yours in the square. That's the strange thing. I just passed through the square. I didn't see a statue of you there, Goliath. It was just a pyramid with a hole in it. Yeah. Oh, I think I understand. Mondulcrit. Well, it's really quite... I'll tell you one thing. If I ever do punch anything other than this punch bag, it's going to be Mondulcrit pyramid with a hole in it. Take it easy, golly. Look, if you really don't want to fight, you don't have to. I was thinking of packing in the fight game soon anyway. I reckon there's more money to be made in the statue game. Mondulcrit is a great mate of mine. Good. That means I don't have to fight now then. Good. And, please, I have asked you not to keep calling me Golly. You wouldn't like it if I called you I'm really not that bothered. Ugh isn't a great improvement on Well, I think Golly is rather a nice name. It's a good deal better than David. David is too macho. Yes, that's it. It's too macho. What about Davy then? Davy? Yes, that's quite a pretty name. I think I'll use that name. Well then, Davy, listen here.
I've just had an idea.
That must be a first for you. Oh, come on now, don't tease him. I wasn't teasing him.
Well, golly,
I want to hear your idea. What is it?
it's very simple, really.
It would be.
I don't want to fight. You don't want to fight. Let's not fight.
That, golly, is what I would call a very good idea. But calling off the fight will not be that easy. The boss is very determined that it should go ahead.
Just you go up to that boss of yours and tell him no. You're not scared of him, are you?
To be completely honest, yes, I am scared of him. You no doubt remember hearing about the unfortunate accident that happened to Mrs. Lott, not to mention my uncle.
Was that done by God?
That's what her husband said. Then, of course, there was the mysterious destruction of the 8 to 80s holiday camp at Sodom and Gomorrah. I know what you mean.
Well, at least we can become friends.
Become friends? By all means. Shall we shake on it? At least, when I can eventually get these gloves off. He tied them up. It was last Monday night. I went to bed, and when I woke up, the gloves were still on. Every time I so much as think about removing them, I begin to feel peculiar and start to get a strange salty taste in my mouth.
So that means there's nothing we can do about it, don't it?
Just let me think a minute. Yes, we might get away with it. Listen, I've got a bit of soft clay left over by Mondlecrit after he made a model for my statue.
Here, Davy, what was your statue like?
It was actually like a bucket.
With a hole in it?
No, he said he'd entered a new stage in his artistic development. He said that his orifice period was at an end, and his receptacle period had commenced. But that's by the by. Let me tell you my idea. What are the rules for our fight?
Rules?
There are no rules. Exactly. So it doesn't matter how we fight, does it? All we have to do is to keep him happy. I have to fight you and somehow win, golly.
Win? Why? Why have you got to win, Davy?
I'm not certain, but the thought has just come into my head, and that slight salty taste I had in my mouth has gone. So I think we better accept it. Just leave everything to me and don't worry. Before I go, I'll tell you my idea. What I intend to do is... No, because you can't really tell him, because he's not going to... You understand what you heard? Is that quite clear, golly?
I got it, Davy.
Goodbye then. I'll see you in a week's time at the fight.
Bye, Davy.
Ta-ra. Well, at least that means the boxing's over and done with. Now, I wonder who'd like to buy a small circular ring with sawdust in it.
You could always try a flea circus.
The fight. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, UGH Promotions proudly present the fight of the Eon for the joint WPBA and C of IBA championship in the Israelites' corner of the field. The challenger, David, wearing light blue shorts with the emblem of a 6-pointed star. In the Philistine corner, the champion, Goliath, in a long pink and brown dressing gown with green spots. At the weigh-in, Goliath was 8 stone, 3 pounds. What's that, Hug? Oh, I'm sorry. I am informed that should read 18 stone, 3 pounds. And the challenger, David, failed to make the scales move at all. I am sorry to announce that the scheduled warm-up bout, a rematch between Cain and Abel, has had to be cancelled as one of the contestants failed to show up. The fight will commence in 5 minutes' time.
Giants all have their problems too.
Goliath's Corner. I hope it works out okay. Do you think his trainer knows?
How can he? Are you sure you know what to do?
Yeah, we've been over it 10 times already.
Right then, it's coming towards you through the air.
Where? Oh!
No. I'm only teasing you. The fight hasn't started yet. You must not duck like that. It'll spoil everything.
You better go over it again.
Okay. First of all, it's not going to hurt. You really don't have to worry. You just let it hit you and then you fall over and pretend you're dead.
Only pretend.
Only pretend.
David's Corner. Poor golly.
Who does he think he's kidding? Surely he can't believe people are going to be fooled by that 18 stone and 10-foot tall nonsense. I wouldn't be so certain about that, David. Listen to the crowd. They seem to be on his side. Yes, but that doesn't matter very much. There's only one thing that bothers me. You mean... Shh. He may be around somewhere. But he hasn't said or done anything yet, has he? No, he hasn't. Though the uncharacteristic silence is certainly ominous. Well, it's too late to change anything now, David. You've just got to go through with it. Yes, I know. Here's the clay, and do try and be careful of your nice new hanky. This clay is practically white. It won't dirty the hanky. Good luck, David.
David wraps the ball of soft clay in the handkerchief, whirls it round his head several times, and lets go.
He's fallen over, and he doesn't seem to be moving. Oh dear. I do hope he's not badly hurt. What could have happened?
My lord, ladies and gentlemen,
I declare Goliath the loser because of what appears to be a permanent knockdown.
Don't ask me, but you seem to have been declared the winner. Let's go over there. I really am a little bit worried. No, you can't possibly do that. I'll slip across and find out where they're taking him. Well, at least it sounds as if he's still alive.
In the hospital.
Bugger, I can't get bloody comfortable, and this bandage round my head doesn't make things any easier.
Now, don't you be a-fussing so much, Mr. Goliath. There, I've brought you some nice medicine, Mr. Goliath. Now open wide.
Ugh!
Come now, Mr. Goliath, the medicine's not that bad.
Medicine? No, it's my trainer. Nice to see you, Hug. And you too, Davy. But it was a bit naughty of you to cheat like that. You told me you would put a bit of soft clay in that sling of yours, and I wouldn't feel hardly anything. I'm standing there in my armour and long greatcoat,
which you forgot to button up so everyone could see the sawn-off tree trunk you were standing on.
Don't interrupt. I'm standing there, and then, wham, this shiny blue ball of rock hits me on the head and knocks me out cold. It was you who threw it, wasn't it, Davy?
Well, in a way it was, but then again, in a way it wasn't. You see, I rather underestimated the boss. He knew what was happening all the time. The only important thing was, apparently, to convince the average man in the desert that the Israelites had beaten the Philistines. I've no idea why.
The last time we played you, we won 41-0.
41-0? That's a laugh. That last goal was way offside. But I was not talking about football, Golly. Anyway, I was about to say, I put this soft clay in my hanky, whirled it round my head and threw it at you as we arranged. What we didn't arrange was that in mid-flight, God should add blue colouring to the clay and then bake it. When it arrived at your head, it was a piece of very solid pottery. Sorry about that. It really wasn't my fault.
Yeah, I think I can see that.
At least you don't look too bad now, and the nurse said that the bandage would come off tomorrow. You could be back home in a couple of days. Let's make you a bit more comfortable. I'll just pump the pillow and straighten out the bedclothes. I don't seem to... It's rather difficult doing things sometimes. These boxing gloves still won't come off. When it first happened, it was some time before I plucked up enough courage to visit the toilet. Just as well, those trousers with the button-up flies are no longer in fashion.
That's all right, Davy, no problem. Hug can see to the blankets.
Right, there you go.
Thanks, that's better. Does that mean, Davy, that God is still angry with you?
Not exactly angry,
He has let me off any more fighting, but he wants me to admit that I was in the wrong and repent. Well, why don't you do that then? I still have my pride. You also still have your boxing gloves? Davy, I think you're being very silly. Think of all the things you are missing by not having your hands free. I don't like admitting that I'm in the wrong. You've just admitted it? Come on now, go to your boss and simply say, I'm sorry, boss, and I truly repent. I'm sorry. Go on, you're nearly there. Anyway, I never know where to find him. He always finds me. Just say it. Well, I'm sorry, boss, and I truly repent. Yeah, that wasn't so bad, was it? No, but now what? Look, Davy, the laces of your gloves, they're coming undone. Yes, they are. I can't believe it. They're undone at last. Oh, please take these blasted gloves off someone. Here, allow me. Goodness, that's better. It's the first time I've seen my hands in about 2 weeks. Here, Davy, where are you going? To have a wash. I'll be back soon. Golly, we bought you a present. Oh, not those square Philistine grapes again, I hope. They may stack well, but they taste horrible. Oh no, but I'll let Davy show it to you. It was really his idea. Here he comes now. Oh, I feel a different person altogether now. The present, Davy, the present. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Hug told me you were interested in philately. Philo? Stamp collecting. Yes, I do collect stamps. Why, have you brought me one? I've brought you a whole album. Oh, let's see. Cool. They're really great. What's this? Moses and the Ten Commandments, 50th anniversary issue, and a complete set of Pharaoh and the Plagues of Egypt. And what's this? An original Lucifer Penny Black. They're really great, Davy. Thanks very much. So we really are friends now? Of course we're friends. No more fighting for us. Talking of which, the Israelites have got a real champion now. I passed him on the way here. He was going to Delilah's unisex hair salon for a trim. He really is a big lad. Definitely an after rather than a before. I can't seem to remember his name. Isn't he some relation of that guy in the temple, Samuel? Yes, that's right. He's Sam's son.
I know that he's a very nice guy.
That was Davi and Goli, a play for voices, written and performed by Frank Gordon. The music was composed and played by Frank Gordon.